message. Let's talk here for a minute about some strategies in lease purchasing here. Remember, a lease purchase arrangement allows you to control a property. We're talking about good houses in good neighborhoods, being able to control it without letting them control you, and being able to take these properties that you lease and pre-negotiate all of the terms. You can lock down the price, how much the rent should be, any rent credit, option consideration, and of course the most important part, which is the right of assignment. Being able to take that contract and have the power to assign it to another party and be out of the deal. A popular strategy when you can negotiate good favorable terms in a property is what we call a sandwich lease option. This is where you have a contract with the owner and you have the right to sublet, transfer, or convey your interest. That's that right of assignment I was just talking about. You sublet it for more than you agreed to give the owner, and in 3 different areas is what we're talking about here. The first area is the option consideration. So let's say you gave the owner $100 option consideration to get this property under contract. There's no reason why you can't take that contract and sublet it out to another tenant buyer who wants to live in the property and collect option consideration, and usually you can get between 2 and 7% of the purchase price in non-refundable down payment option consideration money. The second area is the monthly rent. So in our example, if the owner wants $1,500 in rent is what you agreed upon, you could potentially charge your tenant buyer that you entered in your agreements with $1,800 a month in rent. And you can have $300 a month in cash flow. The third area is purchase price. If you agree to buy the property at, let's say, $230,000, and you could set the purchase price with your tenant buyer at, let's say, $260,000. Again, this is all if the market will bear these numbers here. So after you subtract the amount of the option consideration you received up front from your buyer, plus any rent credit that you've added on, the difference in those numbers is back-end profit too for you when the property closes. And as far as time in your agreement, you can always ask for a 3 or 4 year option term. I've even done some up to 5 with the owners. And then you can sublet it out to your tenant buyer for 1 year at a time. Why would you do that, you ask? Well, every year that passes, you can renegotiate your contract, collect more option consideration, and even adjust the rents if the market will allow it. Please note, all the numbers, though, are based off of what the market will allow. Don't be one of those who is giving everybody else out there a bad name doing this type of business and overpricing properties and just charging whatever you want. You got to take a look at where the market's at, what are the values at, what are the rents at, and be realistic with your numbers. Nobody's going to want a property that's overpriced, and let's face it, nobody's ever going to be able to buy a property that they can't get an appraisal for later on in the future. We'll break down this concept more in other videos and some of the other contents I'll be releasing, but since time is passing pretty quick here, let's move on to another strategy that I really like. My favorite strategy, and especially in today's market, is what I call signing and arbitraging. So let's say we have the same contract in the sandwich lease option with the owner that I just talked about. We can take that contract, that piece of paper, and we actually created something of value. So we can sell that contract to somebody else. We can sell it wholesale to another investor who may want to do that sandwich lease option themselves, or maybe they just want to lease option or sublet it out and buy the property on their own. Or we can retail it to the tenant buyer who wants to live in it themselves. The great part about this is, unlike the sandwich lease option, we're out of the deal at this point. We don't have to collect the rents. We don't have to be responsible for anything that happens to that property. We've put the deal together, we've sold our interest in that, we've collected a profit, and now the agreement is between the owner and that person we sold the agreement to. We're no longer a party to the transaction. Taking it one step further, and I don't want to talk too much about this now, I'll be doing some other videos specifically on this concept, but we can take a contract, we can create notes with this. You can finance the sale of these contracts to other people or any specific terms that were agreed upon within the transfer of that deal. And you can basically take payments. So instead of waiting for that perfect person to come along to give you that magic number that you're looking for, you can sell it to somebody for whatever they're willing to put down and make reasonable monthly payments here. And you can back that up by credit card. And you create these fantastic notes where you have cash flow coming in every month from all these different contracts that you're working and you're selling to other people. There are, of course, other strategies, but these are just some of my favorites, so I hope this helps. I'll be doing a lot more of these videos. If you have any questions, give me a call. I do answer personally. It's not a problem. You can reach me at 909-279-1850 or 1-800-895-00 or visit my webpage at www.ryanblackconsulting.com. There's a ton of free information there. Fill out the registration form, and I'll send you a link to a free success library of downloads there to get you guys started just for filling out the form. Appreciate it, and I'll talk to you guys soon.